Has resolved this sincerely. New reaction tonight, just hours before gaveling in for her second stint as Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi saying Democrats are open to impeaching President Trump. Take a listen.
We have to wait and see what happens with the Mueller report. We shouldn't be impeaching for a political reason, and we shouldn't avoid impeachment for a political reason.
Pelosi not ruling anything out there. Here now with more. Fox News contributor and syndicated columnist DeRoy Murdoch, also Democratic strategist Robert Patillo. DeRoy, I'll start with you. What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's pretty sad if Nancy Pelosi is going to come in the very first day of the 116th Congress and talk about impeachment rather than solutions for the economy, for education, for making health care better, that sort of thing. And again, impeachment for what? I'm still waiting to see Russian collusion. This investigation has gone on for 2.5 years, and you can talk about, oh, maybe some unusual hotel deals or Michael Cohen's taxi medallions, what have you. No one has presented any evidence that the Kremlin and Donald J. Trump colluded or conspired to win the White House. I'm still waiting for that evidence. If it's there, then it's a problem. But I haven't seen it. Nobody else has. The fact that it's taken this long says to me that is not there because there was no collusion.
Robert, and forgive me, it's Patillo. What is your reaction to all of that? Do you think that gunning for impeachment is a good look for Democrats, a good strategy? Because I know it does seem like if you believe the polls, a lot of Democrats would love impeachment. They say ahead of time. I don't know how they'd react once it was attempted.
Well, impeachment is not a serious proposal right now. You have some fringe Democrats who have introduced articles of impeachment. But let's understand, one, the House is not going to impeach the president. Two, if he is impeached, he will not be removed by the Senate. Three, if he's removed by the Senate, Mike Pence becomes president. So it's a negatory argument that's going in place. Yeah. So what Speaker Pelosi was saying—
You make a lot of sense there.
What Speaker Pelosi was saying is depending on what comes out in the Mueller investigation. If the Mueller investigation shows evidence of high crimes and misdemeanors, she's not going to rule that out yet. But otherwise, we're going to concentrate on comprehensive immigration reform. We're going to concentrate on raising wages for low-income people so that the benefits of the tax cut don't just go to the rich. We're going to concentrate on reforming Obamacare into something that works for the American people. That is what she's been discussing, and that's what the agenda of the Democratic Party is. You have these fringe elements on the mainstream media that want to talk about impeachment. That's not where the base is.
I'm glad you brought that up, because for some in the media, impeachment is just one of the ways that they want to get rid of President Trump. I mean, there's also the 25th Amendment. That is another option that the mainstream media seems very excited about these days. Listen to Joe Scarborough just this morning.
If we had a House and a Senate that took their job seriously, there would be people going up to the White House this morning saying, Mr. President, questions abound whether you are fit for this office.
That's right.
If this continues, we are going to ask your cabinet to take a vote on whether you were fit for office and invoke the 25th Amendment.
DeRoy, I'll let you go first. I mean, Mika and Joe are definitely ready to vote on the impeachment or the 25th Amendment and say that he's out of his mind. Do you think people that watch those shows or CNN, I mean, if you listen to them, it's just a matter of time before the president's out? Are they serving their viewers? Are they giving them false hope?
I think a lot of false hope. Look, this is sort of like the Trump derangement network, essentially, when you tune into these programs. And they always have something about which to complain. I mean, a couple weeks ago, oh, the president hasn't gone to visit the troops in the Middle East. Isn't that awful? Then he did go to visit the troops in Iraq, and they said, oh, my God, he's signing Make America Great Again hats. It turned out that that's perfectly okay. That doesn't violate any Pentagon regulations. Then they complained about Melania's outfit. They didn't like the Christmas trees, and on and on. It's always something. And I think they actually, if there are legitimate complaints they have, they should focus on those rather than just nitpick every single day to the point where people don't take them seriously anymore.
Robert?
Well, this is the silly thing about people on both sides of the aisle, the rhinos and also some people in the mainstream media, that let's understand something. If President Trump is somehow mentally incapacitated, how did he beat 17 Republicans to become the Republican nominee? How did he beat a former First Lady, United States Senator, and one of the most well-financed campaigns in American history to become president? If you talk about him like a crazy person, that means that you are proving yourself that you could not beat that person. So it makes you look bad in the contrapositive. What we have to get back to is real conversations on what real Americans are talking about at the dinner table. They're talking about the environment. They're talking about climate change. They're talking about gas prices. They're talking about the price of food and the ability to educate their children and what this economy is going to be doing in 2019. Everything else is a distraction.
I don't know if it's a distraction because I think there are a lot of people out there that watch those shows and believe that the president is on his last legs legally. I mean, I say anecdotally, people who are watching other channels ask me all the time, boy, it really doesn't, he's not going to make it to the end of this term. I mean, he's really not going to make it. You have to admit he's not going to make it. And I kind of look at them, but this conversation happens a lot. So they do truly believe that either the Mueller investigation is going to find something or one of these things, that he's basically going to jail or getting out of office before the end of his first term. So I don't know. I mean, Roy, it's sinking in somewhere. People are believing it.
And look, I agree. This is not good television because I very much agree with what Robert's saying. Look, let's focus on public policy. People like to get caught up with Donald Trump's hair. Is the skin orange? Is he using a sun lamp? All this stylistic nonsense.
Because they're mad and angry and they hate
but you know, if you're going to be mad and angry, talk about policy. Mr. President, why don't you do this policy differently? Do this on spending differently. Do this on taxes differently. Why don't you do this on health care? Fine, we can have intelligent discussions about that. And maybe people on the left will have bright ideas. Maybe people on the right will have bright ideas. But instead, we spent 2 years, mainly the critics of Trump focus on stylistic matters. I'm not interested in that. I will assume that the man will wear bright red ties. He's going to have very interesting bright yellow hair. So what? Focus on public policy, pro or con, and let's have intelligent adult discussions about
DC is ground to a halt right now, so not much to discuss there. Gentlemen, we're out of time. Thanks to both of you tonight. We appreciate your time.